Hi everybody, this is your video on grounding techniques. Now there are many grounding techniques and I'm just going to show you a few that you can put in your toolbox and have them available if you need to ground. What is grounding? You hear that term a lot? Well, grounding allows you to feel more physical in your physical body. So those of us that are more energetic sensitive, we know when we're not grounded because, whoa, we just don't feel ourselves. Those that not sure if they know when they're grounded or not, some symptoms when you're not grounded, you'll feel anxious, you'll feel dizzy, you'll feel lightheaded, you'll feel not connected, you'll just not feel yourself. So whenever that happens to me, and right now that there's a lot of stuff going on in my life as well as in the world, I'm feeling a lot of ungroundedness. So I may use many of these techniques through the day just to help me stay grounded. So I'm starting outside because one of the best methods that you can do to help yourself get grounded is to be outside. So you can be, turn this down, you can be barefoot. Woohoo! It's a little chilly. You can see my bare feet. You can be barefoot in the grass, and as I said, it's a little chilly today, a little wet. So as the weather gets colder, you may even buy one of those mats that are made with stones. I have one in my treatment room, but it's a little difficult to pick up and move around. But you can get them at gardening stores or some stores you can find them. So it's just a square mat that's made of stones. That might work too. But anytime you can get out barefoot into the grass or sand, walking on the beach, oh, that's my absolute favorite. Yeah. And also if I have an x-ray or a CT scan especially, I've done this even in February when I've had to have them regularly. I've gone to a beach and got barefoot because it really pulls out radiation from your body. And we're being exposed to radiation all the time through cell phones, through x-rays, through just, multitude of EMF radiation that's in the air, through our internet, through everything. We're being inundated with it. So anyway, you may need to do that. You may have to go visit the beach. And I'm obviously here by one of our beautiful apple trees in our yard. So another way is to just connect to a tree, either both hands or hugging. I won't hug it because it's quite wet. But you could get, as long as your bare skin is connected to the tree, and then connect to its roots as it goes down into the earth, and just feel that heaviness in your body. I'm pretty grounded today, but often when I start these videos, I feel a little bit ungrounded, of course. I don't want to boop or make a mistake. So I'm probably a little bit off, and I can feel myself getting grounded by just touching or this tree. So you can do that even in the winter time. Put your boots on and head out to your backyard or to wherever, your local park or wherever you've got a tree, and just touch that tree. Okay, let's move inside where it's a little drier and a little warmer. So connecting to nature is one of our best methods. So connecting to your house plants, even if you can't get outside. As you can see, we're set up here with some gorgeous Christmas decorations. So when I did that last weekend, that was very grounding, just to be out gardening. Gardening is one of the greatest things because you're not only you're touching that soil all the time. What a wonderful way to ground. So I'm back here in the clinic. Now, here's some other techniques that we use, or that I use on a fairly regular basis. Let's get that set up. So, as I said, you can use the stone mat if you can't get outside and get your bare feet. I'm going to get into my bare feet again. Because even though I'm inside, and you don't have to be barefoot for this, you can be sock feet or whatever. I've done this one before in one of our classes. Depending on what floor you're on, so I'm in our basement, so I'm only about 5 or 6 feet away from Mother Earth. But if you're on the first floor, the second floor, or the 8th floor in a condo or an apartment, you have to kind of visualize it going down further. So you visualize the roots growing out of your feet down to the center of the earth. And just feel that connectedness with Mother Earth. There, I just felt it. Good. And then there's a little tapping technique that you can use to kind of solidify this. So you tap at the top of the crown with a wide hand so that you get both hemispheres of the brain. And you can tap for 2 breaths or till you feel a shift. And then you tap at the chest or the thymus. Again, 2 breaths while you're visualizing that connection down to Mother Earth. And at the navel. There you go. Nice. And I also posted quite a while ago about the primal nervous system and how to balance that. That's another great grounding tool. So just, I believe, Tuesday night we did Bringing Down the Flame, which is a technique from Donna Eden that is suitable if you're in high extreme anxiety or even a potential panic attack. So before you grab the medication, maybe you could try this and see if this works. Let's hope. Okay, so once again, you take your feet are solid, preferably barefoot, but if you're not, that's fine. Take your hands up into a triangle position and breathing in. All fingers are touching in your thumbs. And you're bringing down the flame. Couple breaths, and then move it down so that the thumbs touch the crown of the head. Couple breaths, or until you feel the shift. In through the nose, out through the mouth. You're literally doing a quick chakra balancing. Now, thumbs to the third eye. Couple breaths. Make those breaths deep, not shallow or chest, right down into the lower rib cage. And now the thymus gland, part of the endocrine system, which is a great way to balance that endocrine system. Getting into the parasympathetic as well. Your rest restore, your rest and digest nervous system. And finally, you make a triangle flat on the belly that encases the belly button. And a couple deep breaths. There. Oh, that really worked. Okay, so another Donna Eden technique, and I've heard this from other energy medicine courses I've taken, and this is called the Cook's Hookup. So you're going to start with your right hand, and you're going to cross it. And we do this one, I do a version of this pretty much at the end of every class. It's the way I connect to the seat of the soul, which is often thought of behind the heart. It's a quick way to ground. So this is taking that Cook's Hookup or that little thing that we do at the end of class to a little more detail called Cook's Hookup. So left hand out in front, take your right hand, I'm doing mirror image here, cross it over, this you know, and curl in, connect to that space behind the heart. Now take your right leg and cross it over the left, and tongue on the roof of your mouth. And I'm going to talk like this. So you again do the breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 to 6 breaths, whatever it takes to do the shift. And you could do this seated if you need to, for whatever reason, balance is a little off. Or if you're having a hard time sleeping and your mind is racing, do this in bed. Tongue on the roof of the mouth, behind the front teeth, and a couple breaths. Till you feel the shift. And then unravel, unwind, and we do it in the opposite. So left over right, intertwine the fingers, curl in, and the left leg over right, tongue on the roof of the mouth, behind the front teeth, and a couple quick breaths. Deep breaths, not quick breaths, deep breaths. Just visualize your energy drawing down through your body, out your feet to the center of the earth. You're going to feel heavier into the floor, and then just unwind, or heavier into the surface that you're on. That's key. Now, if all those things don't work, and you may have to do several of them, you may be holding on to energies that don't belong to you. And any of you that are an empath, and if you know you're an empath, you know what that means. But empaths, as I am, we tend to absorb other people's energies. So, and we have to learn how to protect ourselves from that, or to basically clear ourselves on a regular basis. So especially when I'm working as an osteopath, I have to do a clearance every single day. Sometimes I do it 2 or 3 times throughout the day if I start to feel ungrounded, if I start to feel that lightness and a little bit of anxiety coming on and a little bit of chest breathing. Those are all symptoms that I'm not grounded. So I need to release the energy that doesn't belong to me. So you can use this arm movement, or you can just say it. It's up to you. So you're going to squeeze your fist tight, bring your elbows back into a bit of a contraction. Breathe in, exhale, repeat after me. I release, reach up all energies that don't belong to me, and send them to the light. I've done this in Bliss class before, so once again, I release all energies that don't belong to me and send them to the light. And let's do it one more time. I release all energies that don't belong to me and send them to the light. Yeah. So you would do that. You would repeat doing that until you felt that groundedness to return. For me, I can feel the energies leave me as I say it. And you know, you can get to that point that you're more sensitive to feel that. Now, say you've just been with somebody or a situation or whatever that either really heightens your emotions. Maybe it's anger, maybe it's sadness, maybe it's frustration, maybe usually it's anger. It's something that it's a situation or it's a person that really, and you know you're taking it on. So therefore, you have to send that energy back to that person, because you basically took it on to try to calm the situation down, to try to bring the conflict down. But that's not healthy, because not only is it not healthy for you, because you've taken on energies that don't belong to you, but you've also taken away from that person the lessons or the karma that they chose to deal with in this lifetime. Whether they've chosen to be able to learn how to be patient, or whether they've chose to be more kind, but right now they're acting very nasty. So then you would just say, all that belongs to, and then you would put their name there, is in their field. So I'm going to just say, all that belongs to blah, 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 is in their field, because I don't want to say somebody's name. I had a few names pop in my head, but I can't say that on camera. As soon as the camera's off, I will say those names. All that belongs to is in their field. All that belongs to whose ever name is in their field. Don't think you're sending things back to them that's bad. You are sending things to them that belongs to them and getting away from you. All right? Okay, so what are some other things? All right, a couple things I'll show you here, and then I'll take you into the washroom where there's a sink and a tap. So one of the things when I was really struggling with groundedness that I learned about when I took a fantastic course from James Oschman. Yes, those of you in the energetic world, you might know James Oschman. He wrote the book Energy Medicine. Amazing, amazing researcher. And he was in Halifax. Yes, he was. And I got to spend a day with him. It was incredible. It was an incredible conference and course. And he told us about a company called Earthing, E-A-R-T-H-I-N-G, earthing.ca. So it's a website that you can get grounding mats. So this is a grounding mat, and I've suggested this to several people, and they have gotten them, and they find them very helpful. So it's a grounding mat, grounding pad, and you're going to stand on it with your bare feet. Now, you have to plug it into your house groundedness. So where is that? So this isn't plugged in, but I want to show it to you, and then I'll plug it in over there. So this is an extension cord, obviously. Ideally, you would plug it into the socket that's on the wall, but I wanted to show you. You're going to plug it into that little hole right there. That's the groundedness, the ground for your house. So you're plugging this little adapter thing from the grounding mat into the grounding part of your electrical socket. So I'm going to plug it in right here so that I will feel the groundedness. So then you stand on your mat. Let's see if I can get myself ungrounded. See if you can actually see me ground. Okay, doesn't take much because I just have to think of a situation that we're going through in our family right now. And I can immediately feel my energy here and up, and very little energy down to the ground. So when I'm starting to get, you can hear my breathing. I'm starting to get a little bit faster breathing, starting to get a little shaky, starting to feel a little anxious. So I don't want to continue to feel like that. So I'm going to stand on my grounding mat, and I can immediately feel the energy being pulled down. Oh, so much better. And that's not even doing any fiving or meditating or deep breathing or anything. That's simply standing on the grounding mat. Now, when you check that site, earthing.ca, you can get sheets, you can get blankets, you can get pads, you can get all kinds of really interesting apparatus that you can use or tools. And we even had the sheets at one point in time. We had them years ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago. And we used them for a good 2 to 3 years straight. Obviously, we washed them. And it was just the bottom sheet. And we would plug it in. And what it did, because I was finding, actually that this must have been long ago, because it was when I was in school and I was first learning osteo techniques and finding that I was having a hard time grounding. And what would happen is in the middle of the night, I'd wake up and I would have somebody's energy in my hands. And I figured I was out of my body, treating somebody. And what it resulted in is a lot of being ungrounded throughout the day, very tired, and that just wasn't working. So when I found out about these sheets, I got the sheets and we used them for 2 or 3 years, and they finally did kind of get threadbare and they finally ripped. And I haven't replaced them because I don't have that problem anymore, because I can stay more grounded throughout the day, through all of the tricks and techniques that I've shown you so far. Now, one of the things that I do on a regular basis, and I'll just move the camera again, in between patients, because obviously in this time of, and even before COVID, we always did great hand washing hygiene here. But one of the things you can do very quick, very simple, is to run some water out of your tap, and your plumbing is grounded. Yeah, your house has to be grounded, or else you touch the metal and you get a shock from the water. Since your house is grounded, you take so I use my soap, and I do my 20 seconds of washing through my webs and, the whole 9 yards, following the techniques we're supposed to do. And then when I put my hands under the water, I grab hold of the faucet. So I'm holding the faucet while I'm running the water through my hands. And there I go, I just felt grounded. It's just a very quick thing that you can do that's very effective, very effective. Now, what other techniques do we have? So you have the Fab 5 that you would do on a regular basis to help you stay grounded. These are techniques that you can use when you need a quick fix, all right? Lastly, I'm going to talk to you about essential oils, and those of you that aren't interested in oils, you can stop this video at this point in time. But essential oils have been such an amazing gift to myself and my family and my friends in keeping their health as well as keeping their groundedness. So as I mentioned, when you feel that you might have energies that don't belong to you, and when patients come in and I feel like, oh, you don't feel quite, you've got energies that don't belong to you. I have made up a little aura spray, and this will give it a shake. This has got purification in it, which releases, gets rid of negative energy. It also has sage, and it has cedar wood in it. And I would just spray their aura. And it smells amazing. Ooh, see, something just left me. I could feel it. So obviously I needed that. Now, if I'm heading out where I'm going to be in a large crowd, and I use this regularly as well on the days that I work, it's white angelica. And white angelica is an amazing protective oil to help protect and keep your aura or your energy bubble nice and strong. So I'm just going to apply it to my crown, my shoulders, down my chakras, and then just bring it into the field. Oh, there we go, nice strong. So maybe I still am having trouble with groundedness. One of my go-tos is Valor, and Valor comes in a roller ball. I keep this in my purse at all times, or it comes in a bottle as well, and you can just apply it to your wrists. You can apply it to the bottom of your feet. Oh my gosh, I wear it as a perfume because it's just the most amazing smell. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. I really, really feel grounded. And Peace and Calming is another one that I love to carry if I'm flying or if I'm going to be in a place where there's a lot of people. Those two oils are always in my purse. Okay, and then the other one that you can use is any tree oils. Just like hugging the tree, if you can't get out there because it's a stormy day or whatever, you can use Northern Lights Black Spruce, which comes in a starter kit. And that's definitely one of the go-to oils I use when I'm finding myself ungrounded. And I would just apply it to my bottom of my feet. Oh, and it smells incredible. So Northern Lights Black Spruce is our only Canadian farm oil that we have. All the rest of the farms are all over the world. And it smells incredible. Like to diffuse that, whoa. And they are black spruce trees that are grown under the northern lights in northern BC for 30 years before they're harvested and distilled. And then you have cedar wood or pine that you can use as a tree oil as well to ground you. So those are some oils that you can use. And finally, just connecting to you and your true self. Because all anxiety is you thinking about the future or the past. You're not in the present. Whatever's going to bring you into the present is going to bring that level of heightened hypervigilance, anxiety, panic, whatever you're feeling, it's going to bring you into the now. So whatever it takes to bring you into the now, whether you think of something like nature, flowers, whatever, house plants, your pets. Oh my gosh, petting Sully, our wonderful dog, connecting to his connectedness, because dogs, cats, whatever, they do not think of the future. They are always in the present. So that will help bring you to the present. You've heard about equine therapy with horses to help with those that suffer with PTSD. Absolutely, because with horses, if you're not in the present, you ain't getting anywhere with that horse. They're not going to have anything to do with you. So those are some tips and techniques that you can use, and you may have others, and if you do, please share them. Maybe make a comment under this, or let me know, and I'll make another video of it and add it to our grounded techniques toolbox, whatever you want to call it. Enjoy the feeling of being grounded, because nobody needs to be in that heightened anxiety feeling. We have the tools, we have the tricks, we have the tips to do that. It just takes doing them. All right, so have a great day and enjoy being grounded.